Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So welcome you all. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Here for the first time? Yes, please welcome. Krishna Krishna Bhutale Shrimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namane Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Krishnani Nirvishesha Shunamati Pashnati Devshikari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunjaya Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yashodanandana Brajajana Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yashodanandana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Radha Damodara, Radha Damodara, Radhe. Jaya Radha Damodara, Radha Damodara, Radhe. Jaya Gauranitai, 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 Jai Gauranitai, 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 Jai Gauranitai, Jai Jai Prabhupada, 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 Jai Jai Prabhupada, Jai Jai Prabhupada. Gurudev, Gurudev, Jai Jai Gurudev. Harinam Sankirtan Yagati, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnava ki jai. Hare Krishna. So if you remember a few days last week, we were praying for a child, Naman, and we got the news that he is no more. He left the body a few days back. So really, when I got to know about his age, and he was just, I believe, in 10th class, right? 16 years old child, and he was the only son. So it becomes very difficult to face such situations in life. Really tough time for parents. And that too, it's not a very natural. Anyway, nothing is natural. The death itself is, it's very difficult to accept the reality. So there are there are situations or circumstances when we become helpless. We cannot do anything. Something which is beyond our control. So in that case, the only thing we are left with is prayer. We can pray for and this is again a very, very powerful. It's not that prayer means helplessness. Of course, in a helpless situation, when things are not in our control, we do prayer. But this prayer is very, very powerful process. So which is not in our control, that is in control of God, in control of Krishna. So in this situation, in this time, we can only do prayer for the departed soul. So today's class, even we will dedicate to the departed soul. And we will make a special prayer so that the final destination of the soul is the lotus feet of the Lord. So this class, Kirtan, whatever we are doing, that is dedicated for this prayer only, that the Krishna, the Lord, gives, just accept him unto his lotus feet. That is what we have to pray for. And it is a very painful situation if somebody very near and dear ones, when we separate from us. It's a very painful situation. It's not easy to accept. Even we know the philosophy. Even we know, we read Bhagavad Gita, we understand the reality of life. We understand difference between body and spirit, soul, matter and spirit. Still, it becomes very difficult. remember when, almost 2 years back, when I lost my mother. When somebody is there in your life, I mean, it happens when somebody is there, we do not understand the value of his or her presence, right? When the person is away from us, then we start understanding the importance of relation. So I remember that time, just a month back, before she left body, there was a call, there was some marriage function, because before her health was not good, and then one of my nephew, he was about to get married, and she thought, okay, so in my presence, he should get married. So there was a function at home and COVID situation was there. I got a call. The reason was not only to attend the function, but it was, it will be an opportunity to meet with the family members, especially mother. She is not keeping well. And because of COVID situation, even I was not having that much, so much interest in that function. I thought, and also I got to know that because of COVID situation, there will be quarantine period, 14 days. If I go there, maybe I get stuck up with that process, and I won't be able to reach to my place. And I decided not to go there. And just a month after, because being family members, they never inform you some critical situation. They do not want that you should be in trouble or you should take some, you should get disturbed. They don't want. And that's why the kind of the situation over there, the ground reality, they never told me. Just simply asking me that you should come. You can come. Though they informed me health is not good, but don't worry, it's not so critical, but you should come. And again the same situation. COVID time, quarantine, and I was just, even other family members, they were suggesting also that what is the use of coming? If you come, maybe due to current this process, if you get stuck up in between, you won't be able to reach. Be there. From my side, I was not so much desperate. I'm just giving you the reality. I'm telling you, the truth. I thought, okay, and just next day, I got a call that she is no more. And the worst thing for me, I got to know that when she was at the last moment, she was remembering me. She wanted me to be there. And my last meeting was there at cremation ground. So this is really very painful. So relation is very, very important. Like we were doing from Hezgo Sundar Gopal Prabhu, the most important thing in our life is our relation, people. So we give priority to so many things, we forget about it. So in my case, I was just engaged in so many things, I was giving priority to those things, but I lost my mother in that case. And really. But again, this is the part of life. This is the ground reality. That is what we are trying to understand. So this pain and pleasure or this suffering is part of this material world. So how to face such situations, how to respond in such situations, that is what we have to learn, so that we can continue our journey for the higher purpose. Otherwise, if we don't have this understanding, we will be stuck up. So Bhagavad Gita is all about this only. How to face the situation, how to handle the situation, how to perform your duty. So So in our last session, we were talking about a very famous shloka we discussed about how to act without being attached to the result and dedicating it to Krishna. And then Krishna said how to act. Yogastha kuru karmani sangatyaktva dhananjaya siddha siddhyo samo bhutva samatvam yoga uchyate. Perform your duty equipoised, O Arjuna, abandoning all attachment to success or failure. Such equanimity is called yoga. So if we remember the yoga, the meaning of yoga we learned, that is union. Union. And here we are getting another meaning of yoga, that is equanimity. Being equipoised. Equanimity, that is also yoga. How to understand it? Being equipoised, like equipoised means in this material world we have two situations, either pain or pleasure, either good things or bad things, right? Happiness, distress. This is the nature of this material world. So being equipoised means, what is the meaning? Huh?
Poised in all situations, not happy or sad.
Yes.
Balanced.
Yes, like in situations like we are talking about, so not to be too much agitated, too much in anxiety in such situations, and not to be too much excited when good situations are there, good time is there. Being equipoised. In material world, what happens when we see some good things happening in our life, we become too much excited. And when we lose, we become too much agitated. And Krishna is saying that we should be equipoised, not to be. So, why he is asking like this? Why he is suggesting?
Because in bad times we don't get too much pain. We just control our mind, the bad situations and good situations. We try to be in a balanced way. So when bad things come to us, so we don't react too much in such a way. Or
Yes.
good times come, we don't get too much excited and we just stay in our settled zone.
Yes, that is okay. Adjustments. Like one way is adjusting the material situation or not being disturbed by those situations. But what is the ultimate objective of you? If you, for example, if you are equipoised, you are not disturbed with the situation, then what? Detachment, of course, these are the qualities. If you are detached, you will not be disturbed with situations.
Faith in Krishna, faith in God, and
Faith in Krishna and
the mind is centered on God, that it is not true.
yes, coming closer to the point that if you are, because we know our objective, our goal of life is spiritual. Our goal of life is Krishna consciousness. For example, if you are driving a car and you are seeing left and right, will you be able to drive safely? There is a chance of accident. And also, if you see left, right, you will not be focused, and speed will also be slow. If you are running faster and not focused, just seeing left and right, what will happen? Accident. So when we are focused on our goal, that goal is spiritual. Goal is to come out of this material suffering. Then what will happen? That we will not be too much absorbed in pain and pleasure of this material world, which is the natural or which is the nature of this material world, dualities. If we simply keep on doing some kind of adjustments at material platform, so in good time we will forget Krishna because we are too much excited with those success, those enjoyment. It happens like this. When life is going good, nobody bothers about, nobody thinks about God, right? And too much anxiety will start blaming God. So this pain and pleasure is the part of this material world. So if we become too much agitated or too much attached, we won't be able to focus on the journey of life. Our ultimate journey or ultimate destination of this journey is to achieve. We will discuss about today's shloka is talking about that only. So achieve that ultimate perfection of life, that is Krishna consciousness. And next shloka, what Krishna is suggesting, Durena hi avaram karma buddhi yoga dhananjaya buddhav sharanam anvicha kripana phala hetava. O Dhananjaya, keep all abominable activities far distant by devotional service. Durena hi avaram karma. What is avaram karma? Abominable action. Prabhupada is writing, abominable action means bad action, bad activities, or anything which is not helping you to achieve your ultimate goal, which is obstacle, hurdle or obstacle on this journey. So keep this away from you. Durena hi avaram karma buddhi yoga dhananjaya. How can you do that? When you are engaged in devotional service, what are the hurdles in devotional service? We have already covered few points. What are those hurdles? Attachment to?
Materialistic quality and
Yes?
happiness, sorrow, and day-to-day emotions.
Yes. So attachment to all these material things. See, spiritual and material, these two things are there. Attachment to material objective, material happiness, that is hurdle to our spiritual progress. And this kind of material attachment, what Prabhupada is writing, and he's saying one who is attached with material goal, material things, the word being used is miser. We know about miser, right? Miser and Kripana and Brahmana. We had discussed earlier also. So miser means one who is not utilizing his resources for his benefit. He is known as miser. So why such person who are attached with material objective, material goal, why they are called misers?
Because they are attached to their own fishful circle and they are not.
Yes, the limited understanding they have, and the understanding is this body is whole soul. They are not seeing the bigger perspective of this life, and because of this ignorance, they are misutilizing the resource, or they are not utilizing the human form of life. That's why they are known as miser. So only misers desire to enjoy the fruits of their own work just to be further entangled in material bondage. Because this material desire, material means this is what keeping the person in this bondage of birth and death. One should therefore never desire to be the cause of work. Everything should be done in Krishna consciousness for the satisfaction of Krishna. So misers, unfortunate person, do not employ their human energy in the service of the Lord. And that's why Krishna is suggesting that we do not have to become miser what we have to use, how we have to use our intelligence. Buddhi yukto jahatiya ubhe sukrit dushkrite tasmad yogaya yujasva yoga karmasu kaushalam. He's saying a man engaged in devotional service rids himself of both good and bad reactions even in this life. Therefore, strive for yoga, which is the art of all work. So we have been discussing on this topic. I mean, again and again we have been hearing about it. Good, bad actions, good action, bad action, and ultimately good action or bad action, but that is the cause of bondage because reactions are there. But only devotional service, when we follow the instruction of Krishna and perform our activity without attachment to the result, simply out of duty, out of love, if we are doing our service, then we are free from all these reactions. And what will be the result when we work in Krishna consciousness? What is it? Karmajam buddhi yukta hi phalam tyaktva manishinam janma bandha vinirmukta padam gachanti anamayam. By thus engaging in devotional service to the Lord, great sages or devotees free themselves from the results of work in material world. First of all, there will be no reaction. In this way, they become free from the cycle of birth and death and attain the state beyond all miseries by going back to Godhead. This will be the result when we work in Krishna consciousness. Like we were talking about death, and what here Krishna is saying, become free from the cycle of birth and death and attain the state beyond all miseries. So this is the ultimate goal of life, to attain the state wherein there is no misery, there is no birth and death. And the solution is acting in Krishna consciousness. We cannot avoid action. We cannot avoid our responsibilities, our duties. But we have to do it in a Krishna conscious way for the pleasure of Krishna. Then we are free from all reactions, and finally we will achieve this destination. What Prabhupada is writing, the liberated living entities belong to that place where there are no material miseries. One who is liberated from material contamination, liberated means now transcendental. Not means anybody liberated means what? Not being affected by the three modes of material nature. He is not attached with matter. He understands his reality, his true self. Right? Engaged in loving devotional service to God. So he is liberated. And this kind of liberated people, so Bhagavatam 10.14.58 says, Shamashita ye pada pallava plavam mahatpadam punya yaso murare bhavam buddhir vatsa padam param padam 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 yad vidam natesam. For one who has accepted the boat of the lotus feet of the Lord, who is the shelter of the cosmic manifestation and is famous as Mukunda, or the giver of the mukti, the ocean of the material world is like a water contained in a calf's footprint. Are you getting the point? Do you understand what is being said? So the lotus feet of the Lord is compared to what? Boat. It is compared to a boat. Who is the shelter of the cosmic manifestation? This Lord Krishna. He is the shelter of the whole universe, all universes, cosmic manifestation, and is famous as Mukunda. He is known as Mukunda, or the giver of mukti. Mukunda means giver of mukti. The ocean of the material world is like the water contained in a calf's footprint. Calf's footprint, you know. Have you seen? If you are in village area, you see when the cows and calves when they go through a muddy area, you see their footprints are there. How big is it? How big it is? Is it really big? Do you need to jump to cross it? You can step it, you can simply step on that and easily you can cross it over. And here it is compared that if we are simply taking the shelter of Mukunda, taking shelter of Krishna, then this material pool, this Bhavasagar, it becomes as small as a calf's hoofprints, yes? So small.
Also says something in Ramayana when Ramji goes to Kevat and says कि मुझे पार उतार दो, then the Kevat does not accept money from him. He said,
Yes.
why are you not taking money? He said, people in the same profession do not take money from
Yes.
each other. Can you please tell that story?
Yeah, the same. I mean, this is beautiful pastime, Lord Shri Ram, when he is crossing the river and the Kevat, because means, of course, after, so Lord Ram asked him, or he was paying. He said, no, I don't want anything from you. We are into the same business. Today I am helping you to cross this river, and you also help me to cross Bhavasagar, because you are the deliverer. He is Krishna himself. So he is
Actually, he asked something very much bigger.
big. Yeah, this is also a good point. The bigger context. Bigger context, we should understand. What is bigger context? Like when you see the situation of Arjuna, we all have this situation in life, right? There is good thing, there is bad thing, or for example, if you have a product, good quality product and good price, I mean it's higher price and good quality product. Low price, low quality product. Which product will you choose? Of course, good quality product you want, right? But if you are given a third option, best quality product, low price, so you choose that, right? So Kevat was doing that. So we are getting best quality product and lowest price. So we should not be attached to it, because we are paying so high price just for some material happiness. That is very low quality happiness. But we are paying so much high price at the cost of this human form of life, which is very rare. We will understand in the shloka. So that is really not a good deal, right? So this is the higher purpose, and we are achieving with such a less price, without not much effort. Simply taking shelter of Krishna is giving you the highest perfection of life. Otherwise, it's very difficult to cross over this material world, means material sufferings. So Padam, or the place where there are no material miseries. Paramapadam means a place, the final destination, or a place where there is no miseries, material miseries, or it is known as Vaikuntha. Kuntha means suffering. Vaikuntha, there is no suffering, is his goal, not the place where there is danger in every step of life. So anybody who is liberated, who understands the value of life, his goal is not a place which is full of sufferings like this material world. His goal is to achieve a place where there is no suffering. What we are looking after? A place of suffering or a place of bliss? Yes, we are all intelligent. So this is the final goal of all liberated souls. Owing to ignorance, one does not know that this material world is a miserable place where there are dangers at every step. Because of ignorance, not knowing, people do not know that this material world means danger at every step. Different forms will be there, but dangers, suffering, anxiety is always there. I was hearing one lecture wherein one Maharaj, he was talking about, if you do not get to eat, then you are in anxiety. If you eat too much, then you are in anxiety. If you want to marry, you looking for a good girl, beautiful girl, not getting, then anxiety. If you get, again you are in anxiety. So anxiety is an integral part of this material world. In whatever situation you are in, you are going to get anxiety and stress, right? So padama vipadam yidesham. This is the nature of this material world. Out of ignorance only, less intelligent persons try to adjust to the situation by fruitive activities, thinking that the resultant actions will make them happy. Everybody is trying for happiness in this material world, and every time they are being baffled in their effort, they are getting defeated by Maya. But again, they go to some bookshop and find out a book, 101 ways to remain happy, and they just develop a hope. Okay, last time I failed, but this time, now I got the magic formula. This time, definitely I am going to achieve this. And in this rat race, this is the rat race, right? Everybody is just trying to become happy in this material world without knowing the nature of this material world. Anybody and everybody, if we try to achieve happiness on material platform, it's never possible. Only at a spiritual platform we can experience real bliss. Otherwise, at material platform, that flickering temporary happiness, that is not exactly happiness, but we feel like, because we are conditioned. We think if I get this, I will be happy. So everybody's happiness is conditioned with external material things, either objects or people. So they, out of illusion, they feel happy, right? So, yes, people thinking fruitive activities means they are always working just for some fruits. If I get this, I will be happy. They do not know that no kind of material body anywhere within the universe can give life without miseries. Either you achieve body in a heavenly planets or in a lower planets. Material nature, material law is applicable everywhere. Quantity may be, level may be different, but happiness and distress is the part of this material world. Pain and pleasure, hankering and lamentation, this is the nature of this material world. The miseries of life, namely birth, death, old age and diseases, are present everywhere within the material world, but one who understands his real constitutional position as the eternal servitor of the Lord and thus knows the position of the personality of Godhead engages himself in the transcendental loving service of the Lord. So one who is clear with this, then he is not looking left and right. He is focused on his journey, on his ultimate goal. Yes, so how to understand it practically means whatever is happening in our life, not to be too much excited in good time and not to be too much agitated in bad time. And this is only possible when we are clear with our goal and we are focused on that goal, on that journey. Then we will not be disturbed. Again, when I say this, it doesn't mean that if somebody near and dear ones getting separated, we will not have emotions. Bhagavad Gita or spirituality does not make you hard-hearted. Emotions are there, but we are learning how to manage those emotions, how to utilize those emotions. Otherwise, the same emotion.
If we say the other way around, that if we want to achieve something, liberation or something, and every situation, good or bad, we accept it that this is a form of our karma where we have to square it off.
Yes.
And we think that we have to square it off and then we achieve only this. So that will give us a more settled way to react to or respond to that situation.
Yes, of course. This is the true understanding, not in illusion, not being in illusion. Understanding the reality of this, the nature of this world, law and order, whatever is the law of nature. So if we have this understanding, like Krishna is saying, Jatasya hi dhruva mrityu dhruvam janma mrityusya tasmad aparihare na tum sochitum arhasi. Or he's saying Dhirastatra Namuyati. What does it mean? One who knows the reality of life, one who knows that one who has taken birth is sure to die, right? So he will not be bewildered with such a change. This is a natural process. But again, emotions are there. So expression of emotions or feelings or love, that is very natural. But not being bewildered out of such situation, not being distracted from your ultimate journey, ultimate goal, that is what being intelligent person. Dhirastatra namoyati. So for some time, okay, we are disturbed, but again, reminding ourselves, reminding of the true journey or true self, or this is what keeping focus on. So consequently, he becomes qualified to enter into Vaikuntha planets where there is neither material, miserable life nor the influence of time and death. So Vaikuntha means where there is no influence of time, there is no influence of death. Because time doesn't work over there. There is no time factor. Material world, due to time, what happens? What is the role of time here in this material world? What is the role? Time, change. If there is no time, no change. So in Vaikuntha, in a spiritual world, there is no time. Everything is eternal.
The situation is always same.
Eternal. There is no birth, no death, no miseries. So this is. And what is the qualification? In this material world, if we are focused, if we are in Krishna consciousness throughout our life, then we become eligible to enter into that spiritual world. If we are attached with material things, then because of this attachment, we receive. Because of desire, material desire to enjoy, to lord it over material nature, right? We develop attachment to get those things. And as long as we have attachment, material attachment, so to fulfill those desires, again and again, we have to take birth. Again, when birth is there, then all these other three things are there. Death, disease, right? So, the process, if we want to enter into a spiritual world, then we have to reduce our attachment to material things and we have to direct it to Krishna. Only detachment from this material world will not work. If we simply want to detach ourselves, that is not going to work. But from one place we have to detach, but we should have attachment to something else, that is Krishna. If we say it other way, do not think about detachment. Just think about attachment to Krishna and detachment will automatically take place. That will be real detachment, true detachment. Otherwise, if without getting attached to Krishna, if you try to detach yourself with your own power, you will fail. Big personalities, they will fail. Detachment is not an easy job. And even Krishna in 3rd chapter, when we go, we will understand. Krishna is not suggesting such kind of detachment, such kind of sannyas, premature renunciation. Krishna is saying, no, it is not good. Premature, somebody out of excitement, no, now I got to know this material attachment is the root cause of suffering. Now I will detach, I will get out of my family, I will get out of all social responsibilities, I'll go to jungle and I'll do some austerity. This is immature renunciation. And Krishna is not suggesting for it. So what we have to do, we have to develop attachment to Krishna by engaging in service, loving devotional service to Krishna. And automatically, Vishaya vinivartante niraharasya deina rasvarjam rasopashya param drashtva nivartate. Krishna is giving solution how to become detached from this material pain and pleasure. When you have higher taste, lower taste will automatically go away. So develop higher taste. And this is higher taste. Krishna consciousness is higher taste. Working for higher purpose. Right? Higher gain. So when you have that goal clear in your mind, then all these flowery words, flowery attraction, glittering world will not attract you. not attractive. And this will sometimes when I speak like this, because we are so much attached, nobody wants to give up. Even because we are conditioned, right? Are you getting what I'm saying right now? Mataji, Shita Mata, if you want to focus on any highlight, is we should not think like sometimes it happens like every time we are talking, get out of this material, happiness, pleasure, it becomes very difficult to understand or to accept, because this is what whole life we have been trying for.
Once you try to fulfill your obligations to where you have come from, and
Yes.
you detach yourself slowly and slowly, gradually. It is not all of a sudden. Then when you have thought that you have to go to that track, you have to leave someday, you have
Even.
to leave this track and go to the other track
Yeah.
of Krishna. If you think that we have to go
Yes.
to that track.
Again and again, when this topic we discuss, attachment and detachment, I make it very much clear. Real detachment, we have to understand real detachment. Krishna is not asking you to give up your family or your family responsibilities, right? Yukta Vairagya. Krishna consciousness means Yukta Vairagya. You are utilizing all those resources, skills, or whatever thing you have in your life with this understanding that it belongs to Krishna, either people or things. Everything belongs to Krishna, and taking care of those things or those people is my service, is my duty. Krishna will be happy utilizing, not misutilizing. Right? So Yukta Vairagya means all family members take care of them nicely in Krishna conscious way. They are part and parcel of Krishna. Similarly, whatever skills we have, we can utilize that in such a way that it will be beneficial for others. They will also have develop this Krishna consciousness. So our detachment is this Yukta Vairagya. Right? So it means when you are in this mood, you understand how to utilize things in a much better way, how to reciprocate, or how to even about your relation, how to take care of those relations in a much better way, in a right consciousness. And that's why we again and again repeat it, that Krishna consciousness is not external. It's not an external change. It's a change of consciousness. Whatever we are doing, whatever different things in our life, our job, our household activities, our relation, everything is going to be there. Only we are going to change the consciousness behind that. We are going to keep Krishna in that consciousness. So when you start seeing everything through the eyes of Krishna, your overall consciousness is changed. Your behavior towards things and people changed. Right? So this is what Krishna consciousness. So never get bewildered out of it that now what kind of life I am going to live. There will be no enjoyment, there will be no happiness. No, it's not like. It's full of bliss. Krishna is all blissful. Only we are trying to understand the happiness or the enjoyment we were looking in material things, that is temporary. We have to make it very much clear. That is a source of suffering. This is what Krishna is saying. So now we have to direct the same enjoying propensity. Because this enjoying propensity is there with Krishna. Krishna is all enjoying. He is the source of all enjoyment. So only thing, the misdirected enjoyment is material enjoyment. The same loving propensity or enjoying propensity, if we redirect it towards Krishna, then we get real enjoyment and real happiness, and that will not disturb us. Because material happiness we know. Today you got something, you are happy. But make it sure that one day you have to lose it. That is for sure, that is the nature of this matter, material world. So once you lose it, then you have to suffer. So we have to come out of this pain and pleasure, cycle of this pain and pleasure. We have to be always a strain, bliss, no pain, no miseries, always bliss. And that is only possible when we raise our consciousness at higher level, that is Krishna consciousness. So one who wrongly thinks that the living entity's position and the Lord's position are on the same level is to be understood to be in darkness and therefore unable to engage himself in the devotional service of the Lord. So there you will find a category of people, they do not accept them as servant of God. They think I am also God. They are full of ego. I am also saint. I am also God. Means I am master means what? I am not to serve. I am to be served. Right? So this mentality, if we have this egoistic challenging mentality, then we will never take shelter of God. Right? And this is illusion. He becomes a Lord himself and thus paves the way for the repetition of birth and death. So this lording over material nature, this mentality, it means we are preparing ourselves to get birth in this material world again and again. As long as we are with this mentality, because this is one reason. Because of this wrong consciousness only we came from a spiritual world to this material world. And as long as we are maintaining this mentality, we will never ever be eligible to go out of this material world. So this material world, the constitution of this material world or this material cosmos, it has been done in such a way so that we can again revive our consciousness, revive our lost consciousness. And this is the consciousness, Krishna consciousness, that we are servant and Krishna is the Supreme Master and our duty is to serve him. So just to revive this consciousness, this material world is there. But one who understanding that his position is to serve, transfer himself to the service of the Lord, at once becomes eligible for Vaikuntha Lok. Service for the cause of the Lord is called Karma Yoga. You know about it, right? Karma Yoga means working for Krishna, or Buddhi Yoga, or in plain words, devotional service to the Lord. So in further shlokas, again, we will discuss later, but the point is, Krishna is asking that let's be focused on our ultimate goal of life. So one similar shloka, I will just, like we read here from Srimad Bhagavatam, one teaching Lord Kapila is giving to, Lord Rishabdev, he is giving to his sons, that is very similar to this. I'll just explain about that and then we'll close. What is that? He's saying, Nrideham Madhyam Sulabham Sudurlabham. Nrideham means this human form of life. Nrideham Adyam Sulabham Sudurlabham. We got it. Very easily we got it. It's not easy. Somehow, now because of our pious activities, we got this human form of life, but it is very rare. Sudurlabham. And apart from this, and how this body is compared to what? Plavam Sukalpam. Plavam means boat. This body is just like a very strong boat. Very strong boat. And not only boat, we got Guru Karana Dharam. Just imagine, you have a very, you are in the middle of ocean. It's very, maybe Atlantic Ocean. We cannot compare, even Bhavasagar is very, very dangerous. It's very difficult to cross over. But just imagine, it's a very critical situation, very difficult situation. It's a matter of life and death. And you got a boat. Not only a boat, a strong boat which can face the situation. But along with that, you got a captain also. A Guru Karana Dharam. A captain. He knows where to take it. He knows the direction. So Guru means one who gives us direction. What is right, what is wrong. Guru Karana Dharam. And along with this, Maya Anukulena Vaswate Iritam. Just imagine, even the wind is very much favorable. The direction you want to go, the wind is in the same direction. It is just going into the same direction. Everything is very much favorable, very conducive, very favorable. Puman navabdhim nataretsa atmaha. What he is saying? Puman means human being or this. If they are not utilizing this opportunity to cross this material pool, the suffering, atmaha, they are simply committing suicide. What they are doing? Committing suicide. No? Fortunately, we got everything. We have received this human form of life, because other form of life, self-realization is not possible. We are bound to act as per the basic instinct in that particular body. We don't have any choice. But this human form of life means we got a choice. Either to cross this material pool of sufferings. No? Either means here I'll say, either to again repeat birth, death, old age, disease in this material world, just for flickering happiness, or to go home, back to Godhead. So this choice is there with us. This option is there with us. Human body, Guru, this captain, and also Krishna's mercy with us. This is Krishna's mercy. He is giving us whole direction, whole process, how you can come back to me. He is giving whole process. And that is very, very simple process. He is saying, simply take my shelter. I'll take care of everything. I'll take care of everything. Is there any easy process to cross? By our own power, we can't do that. Because Maya is energy, is the energy of Krishna. By our own capacity, we cannot come out of this material sufferings. Maya metam taranti de. Krishna is saying, Devi yesham gunamai mama maya duratya. This material energy is my potency. It is very difficult to overcome. Can we overcome Krishna's energy? She is especially taking care of this material world, and her duty is to control people who are having this material attachment or who are envious of God. And her special duty is to control such kind of envious souls in this material world. We cannot cross it over. And Krishna is saying, Mame vaye prapadyante maya metam tarantite. One who takes my shelter very easily overcome this material pool. Yes? Because he is the Supreme Personality, he is the Supreme Power. And Maya, or the material energy working under his direction. So instead of fighting with material nature, or to try to come out of material nature by our own, better take shelter of Krishna. Krishna, now I got the reality. I know this is not a place of, it's a place of suffering. Though I wanted to enjoy, but now I got to know that it's not a place of enjoyment. I cannot be an enjoyer separate from, means I cannot enjoy separately from you. I got the point. Please accept me.
Yeah, decide actually we want a happiness with an expiry date or without an expiry date.
That's so nice.
So how do we take shelter of Lord?
Yes, taking shelter of Lord is very, very simple for simple people. Right?
We think that we want to have something happiness without
See,
expiry unlimited.
becoming a master is a very tough job. To become a master, you have to do so much. So much qualification is required. So much skill, so much power is required. Isn't it? But if you want to become a servant, menial servant, one who becomes servant? I know nothing, my Lord. Please engage me. If you think I can be engaged in any service, please engage me. I don't have any qualification. I don't have any skill. Becoming servant is very easy. And simply by becoming servant, what is the benefit when you take shelter of Krishna? Simply by becoming servant or simply taking shelter of Krishna, you can control Krishna himself. It's a very different signs, right? You are becoming servant, and being a servant, you are controlling Krishna. Who can control Krishna? Who is the Supreme Personality of Godhead? Is there anyone who can control Krishna? Only Krishna's devotee can control Krishna. Like we see in Vrindavan gopis, they make Krishna dance the way they want, right? And gopas, they fight with Krishna. And Krishna, when he is being defeated, so as per condition, now the devotee is controlling Krishna. Krishna just holding devotees on his shoulder, just roaming around or going through the whole Vrindavan village and showing that, see, I am defeated by my devotee. So if you really want to become, devotees never want this. They don't want to control Krishna. But this is the position of Krishna. This is the position of a devotee. When you become devotee, pure devotee, your Krishna is bound. Now the Chaturmas is there. In Kartik month we will hear this beautiful pastime where Mother Yashoda is binding Lord Krishna. And Narad Muni is saying that big rishis and munis, even after hundreds and thousands of years of austerity, they are not able to see the lotus feet or the form of, like, super soul form of Krishna within their heart. And here, a simple gopi binding Krishna. How is it possible? Just by love, by devotion, loving devotional service. Krishna is bound to his devotees.
How do we realize that we are going from a normal human being to devotee and from devotee to the pure devotee stage? How do you understand?
Yeah, very nice. See, the simple parameter is you will automatically, your taste for chanting, reading, hearing will increase. And even Srila Prabhupada gives a very simple example. This is something which cannot be explained by words. If you are eating food, other people will not be able to tell you how much you are satisfied. When you start taking food, automatically that satisfaction you will feel. It's not that to be satisfied you have to finish the whole plate and then only you will be satisfied. Even when you take the first bite, you will feel some satisfaction. So your advancement in spiritual life, you yourself will experience, your taste will develop for hearing, like you are regularly coming to this class. Why you are spending so much of time for such things? If it is not giving you taste, if it is not, you are not relishing, why you are giving so much of time? You are putting so much of effort to come here, right? So this is one key. We will start our advancement. Your question that purification of the heart. How we can know that heart is being purified? We will start coming closer to Krishna. We will start hearing about Krishna. I hope you follow this.
So, Guruji, service for the cause of the Lord is only chanting here, which is written. Service for the cause of the Lord is called Karan Yoga. So that comes only through chanting.
See, chanting, yes, it's a service and sadhana both. Process and goal. Will explain you. Service means, chanting is one devotional service. Like if we say devotional service, there are 9 processes. Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, Pada Sevanam, Dasyam, Sakyam, Yabhinari. Like you are hearing about Krishna, this is also devotional service. I am speaking about Krishna, this is devotional service. While doing your other activities, if you remember Krishna, that remembrance is devotional service.
Prabhuji, you said that even what you are good at or what you have, if you do that for society, that is also service.
Keeping Krishna in center. See, that's what I said. External changes. It's not external change, but a change of consciousness. I give example again and again. For example, you are cleaning this house. You are cleaning your house. Is it a devotional service? Every day you are cleaning. Is it a devotional service? When you keep Krishna in center means, when Krishna is not there, I mean, you think this is my home. I am the master of this home. than you are doing for self. And that kind of activity will become cause of bondage. Because if you are understanding, considering yourself, like in last sloka we were discussing about karmanyevadikasta, if you consider yourself doer or if you consider yourself master, then you will be responsible for your karma. Right? But the moment you think it belongs to Krishna, it is Krishna's place, and then now I become, he is the master, I am servant. And then the same activity you are doing, cleaning the floor, now your consciousness is what? You understand, this is temple, this is Krishna's place, and for the pleasure of Krishna, I am cleaning this house. The same activity, but consciousness changed. So this consciousness will help you to purify your heart. Getting? Tanu Mataji, is it? Simple example, just to understand. So similarly, all other activities, your office, your business, whatever you're doing, simply we have to keep Krishna in center. And we have to do our best. We don't have to become controller. As Krishna is instructing us, we have to do our best and live on Krishna rest. Don't be in anxiety, don't be in stress, just do your duty out of love for Krishna. This is Krishna consciousness. Huh?
You said limit.
Yes, medium.
You are just the medium for every action.
And to come to this consciousness, this chanting is the most powerful process. Taking shelter of Krishna, this is what chanting the holy name of the Lord. Initially it will be difficult, right? Because our ego is there. But this process, whether you like it, you do not like it, just don't think I like it or do not like it. Just imagine, just think, Krishna loves it. When we take effort to please Krishna, Krishna loves it. And then He will show or shower His mercy upon us. We will be able to advance. So my humble request to all of you, this process, even you forget everything, whatever we speak, you are able to understand, don't at all worry about it. Just start taking the name, chanting the name of Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. So let's start. Yes, Prabhu, you are for the first time. So anyway, quickly I'll tell you. Just hold the next beat, apart from this thread one, next beat like this, and one time we chant Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhar, Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. And holding this beat, we will start Hare Krishna Mahamantra till this beat, till the end of this beat. So every beat, on every beat, we will chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra one time. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So one thing very important which we have to always remember, chanting, the first and foremost principle is chanting and hearing every syllable. It's not a marathon. Don't bother about speed. When we start this process, I always recommend this. Don't bother about how much time it is taking. First learn the right process, and automatically that natural speed will be there with you. Natural speed will be there. Once you develop wrong practice, our objective is not to compete, our objective is to not to complete so many rounds, but to develop loving devotional mood. And then chant and hear sincerely, that is the only process. Thank you so much everyone. So every day do this activity, and today is Ekadashi. So you're going to get immense benefit just by this chanting and hearing. Thank you so much. So we will just conclude with Aarti. Namaste Narasimhaya, Namaste Narasimhaya, Prahlada-Daini, Hiranyakashipurvakshaha, Shrilatankanapalaye, Ito Narasimha Parato Narasimha, Yato Yato Yamitato Narasimha, Mahir Narasimha, Hridaye Narasimha, Narasimha Madim Sharanam Prapahate, Kamakara Kamalapare, Nakha Adbhuta Shingam Dalita Hiranyakashipu Tanubhinda Keshavadrita Narahari Rupa Jai Jagadisha Hare, Jai Jagadisha Hare, Jai Jagadisha Hare, Jaya Narasimhadev, 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 Jai Narasimhadev, Jaya Prahlad Maharaj, Prahlad Maharaj, Prahlad Maharaj, Jai Prahlad Maharaj, Prabhupada, 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 Jai Jai Prabhupada, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Radha Shyam Sundar Radha Shyam Sundar Radha. Jaya Radha Shyam Sundar Radha Shyam Sundar Radha. Jaya Krishna Balaram, Krishna Balaram, Krishna Balaram, Jai Krishna Balaram. Jaya Krishna Balaram, Krishna Balaram, Krishna Balaram, Jai Krishna Balaram. Jaya Gauranitai, 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 Jai Gauranitai, Jaya Gauranitai, 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 Jai Gauranitai. Jaya Vrindavan Dham, Jaya Vrindavan Dham, Vrindavan Dham, Jai Vrindavan Dham, Jaya Vrindavan Dham, Vrindavan Dham, Vrindavan Dham, Jai Vrindavan Dham. Jai Jai Prabhupada, 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 Jai Jai Prabhupada, Jai Jai Gurudev, 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 Jai Jai Gurudev. Krishna Bhagwan ki Jai, Bhagavad Maharaj ki Jai, Shri Prabhupada ki Jai. Thank you so much for your valuable time, and any excuse for any words or any which hurts you. Sometimes when I'm here, strong words, so don't mind. Only objective is we can understand the message, we can practice, and we can make our life successful. Hare Krishna. Shri Prabhupada ki Jai. Thank you so much.